friends, Jill here. I feel like it got dark all of a sudden, and my fan is going, but oh well. Jill Ortiz here in my empowered fitness community for women over 40 looking to get energized, confident, and strong. I'm so happy that you're here with me today. It's Wednesday, and every week on Wednesdays, if you're new here, we do a Q&A live, and it's a place where I'm going to be answering so many amazing questions about fitness, nutrition, weight loss, weight gain, menopause, symptoms, all the stuff. And the reason why I have really great questions to answer is because you all ask the most amazing questions when you jump in our group here. So when you join the group here, I ask 3 questions. What's holding you back from getting to your goals for fitness and nutrition? What are your goals? And if you could sit with me and have a one-on-one chat, what is a question that you would want answered? And you do have the opportunity to have a one-on-one chat with me. It's one of my favorite parts of my business as a fitness professional, as a coach, as a menopausal coach, is having the opportunity to get to know the people who I'm possibly going to be working with, getting inside your brain, problem solving and all those things, and developing relationships. As a woman, I just feel like the quality of my relationships in life is really a determinant of my joy and happiness, and if I feel like my mission is being fulfilled. And so I love having calls with you, and so you are welcome to schedule a game plan call. They're 45 minutes. It's an opportunity for me to get to know you and you to get to know me, to get to the bottom of what's going on and why you're not getting to your goals, and then devising a plan together if we feel like it's a good fit. It's not, something you have to do, but if you feel like it's a good fit and you want to work with me in some capacity, then we can talk about the options. And so the call is totally free. And then the solutions, they range from $5 once to like $700 a month. And so it's totally up to you, whatever your budget is and what you need, and if you like me and I like you. All right, so let's get into it. So that link to book a call is in here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go through and talk about, probably about 15 ladies who came into the group very recently. Many of you have actually booked calls with me. I think I have 3 or 4 calls with you ladies today. So that's exciting. I just got off 2 calls already today, and amazing connections. And so let's take a look at Krista. And so Krista said, she wants to lose 15 to 20 pounds before the middle of September, which I love. That is 2 months from now. And 15 to 20 pounds in 2 months is a big goal, but it is a doable goal. So when people ask me sometimes, what makes sense, what's a good weight loss goal, we talk about 1 to 2 pounds a week, right? And it depends on how much you have to lose. If you're starting at 130 pounds, then maybe not losing 20 pounds in 2 months. But if you have more to lose, then certainly you might be able to do that. 1 to 2 pounds a week at 8 weeks from now means, maybe 15 pounds. And if you have a lot more to lose, then it could come off quicker. And it doesn't always come off fast, because sometimes we change, and instead of, we'll lose fat, but we'll gain muscle. So maybe we don't lose as many pounds as we thought we wanted to, but we still get amazing results. And we can continue the journey from there. It's just a launch point, right? So Krista wants to lose 15 to 20 pounds before the middle of September. Maybe she's got something coming up. And she says, with regards to what's holding her back, she has no clue. She says, I've been eating right, walking 5 miles a day, and exercising another 30 minutes a day. I'm curious as to what that other 30 minutes of exercise is. And she's not seeing any change. She wants to know, how does she lose the menopause belly? So, walking is actually really good for us. It's good for stress relief. It's good for getting vitamin D, fresh air, opening up the lungs. And if you are walking with somebody, then it could be all about building connection. If you're on your own and you're learning or listening to music or a podcast, so good. All these things are really great things. 5 miles a day could be a lot. That could be a lot of walking. It could be at some point that maybe you're doing more than you need to. I was actually listening to a book the other day. It's my new favorite book. I want to listen to it again. I just finished it on bone health. And it was interesting. They were citing a study that was done about steps per day, right? So you always hear like you got to do 10,000 steps per day. So they did a study on the effects on weight loss and what was beneficial, how many steps were actually needed. And what they found was that, and I think it was with regards to weight loss, that it wasn't actually 10,000 steps that were needed. 7 to 10,000 steps was amazing, and that's what they found was the best range. But they actually said that after 7,500 steps, there was no additional help, right? So after you got your 7,500 steps in, there wasn't actually any extra benefit from walking more. So, and then eventually, if you're starting to get in too much stress mode, or you're not fueling your body for the 5 miles a day plus extra workouts, then it's possible that you could actually have the reverse effect. So what we might want to do is change things up a little bit and see how that goes. Another thing that that I've noted, what was I going to say, is that, oh yes, so when we do the same thing all of the time, then it doesn't become as effective. So I've had people say to me, Jill, I just did 365 rides on my Peloton, like every day. I didn't miss a day and I didn't lose a pound. What gives? Well, the thing is what you do every day simply becomes who you are. It becomes your norm. So you can't expect to get new results from doing the same thing. And so that is why we need to be changing our approach quite often and changing up what we're doing so that our body gets new results and that our body doesn't get used to it, or it tries to like kind of level out. So I was just speaking to an amazing woman, Robin, who is a yoga and Pilates instructor, and we were talking about how we have to get her out of that yoga Pilates and sometimes putting a lot more stress on her body and doing maybe some strong lifting or change into a cardio mode sometimes. If we change things up, then we can expect a new result, right? So these could be some big game changers for Krista. She thinks she's doing the right thing by doing the same thing every day, but perhaps we need to change that up for a period of time, right? And then with regards to how to lose menopause belly, that comes down to mostly the reason why we start gaining in the middle is due to cortisol levels being high. So anxiety, symptoms can put us into anxiety. Not eating enough can put us into high cortisol levels. Not exercising enough, exercising too much. There's a lot of different stress factors that can cause that kind of menopause belly. It's just normal for us to be getting a little more round in the middle at middle age. And I even noticed, I did a video of myself at the golf range the other day, and while I was like leaned over, so my stomach kind of like, comes out a little bit when I lean over, I was like, ooh, even my stomach looks like a little rounded. And part of it is, it's life, and it could be posture, it could be strength of your core, and it could be that we need to make some changes to our diet, or it could be that we need to work on stress and keeping out of that constant state of fight or flight, right? So we can work on these things together with a comprehensive program and making some changes to see how we can, get back into that fat burning mode, change our body to where we want it to be, and feel better and healthier along the way. Now for Krista, because she wants to lose 15 to 20 pounds in the next 2 months, I think it's super important that we get a really solid plan. It's a little bit more aggressive than I would say for like a lifetime kind of weight loss plan, like a more gradual plan. We might want to be more aggressive with Kristen. We want to start it yesterday. And if we can't start it yesterday, the next best day is today. So Krista, I hope you book a call with me and we can get you on the calendar. I think you had messaged me yesterday asking for the link. So I sent you that link. So let's get you on the calendar so that we can get your goals underway. All right, that was a big one. So Jody says hormones and time are holding her back from achieving her goals. And her question is, what do I need to do now that I am post-menopausal? So really, it's a lot of the same things from when we start losing our hormones that are meant for our reproductive system, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. Once these start declining, it's really all the same things. And even going back prior to that, in our maybe mid 30s, late 30s, we want to start doing all the things that are going to help us too, right? So I told you I just listened to this amazing book on bone health, and I want to become a certified osteoporosis fitness trainer now. That's going to be my next specialization. And so I've been looking into courses and certifications. And I'm like all about my bone health right now. I'm only in my early 40s. Like, am I really concerned about osteoporosis? Yeah, I'm concerned about it. I want to be set up for when I'm in my 70s, that I'm not breaking bones, that I have healthy bones, that I've done everything for the decades leading up to be my healthiest self. And it's the same thing for menopause. I'm doing everything I can now so that I can prevent, what could happen in the future and set myself up. And so what you need to do, and this goes for everybody in a post-menopausal stage of life, is to work on building back up muscle and bone, right? So that we have longevity, our body is strong. When we're strong, we're also gonna feel toned and confident and more energized. We wanna be fueling our body appropriately. So more important, in order to get healthy and strong, is going to be emphasis on whole foods, fruits and vegetables, fiber, less processed foods, and plenty of protein, enjoying food, right? Connections, stress management, sleep, good sleep hygiene. All these things are super important, and hydrating. Always got tons of water, lots of fun supplements. These are my greens that fell to the bottom of my shaker bottle. So what we like to do is make sure that we have all of these things aligned. And it can be super overwhelming if you don't know what you don't know. And so what I've created, and I've also included the link to, and I'm sure I've offered this to many of you, so take me up on this offer, is a 5-day menopause makeover experience. And it's only $5, so you can all afford it. And you can hop in, and you're gonna get 5 workouts with me. 3 of them for tightening and toning. You've got arms, abs, and glutes. And then you've got 2 for relaxation, mobility, flexibility, breathing, de-stressing. And so you're also going to get 5 lessons with that: sleep, stress, nutrition, fitness, and supplementation / HRT. And so this is your beginning of getting yourself organized, getting your thoughts organized, getting yourself ready. There's a workbook that goes along with it, and I was just telling Robin, it has a time blocker, so you can get yourself a little structure and make sure you're getting all the things in that you need to get in, staying on track, feeling in control of your days. And this is such a good starting point because it's going to organize your brain around what's going on. It's going to educate you. It's going to get you consistent with taking action. And then we also get a free call with that experience with me. So that's going to encourage you to do what we call, this is Robin's hormone harmony assessment, right? Kind of going over these different areas. And I think Robin and I are going to talk again when she's gone through the whole makeover. She just signed up, but now she's got to do the work, and then we'll talk again. And we'll talk about, okay, now that we've learned this, what are our next steps? How do we make sure that we are progressing towards our goals, that we're not sitting in plateaus, and that we're getting to where we want to be, and that we're enjoying the process and excited about it so that we stay in it. So I think that would be great for you, Jody, is the 5-day menopause makeover, and then let's plan from there, and let's figure out, I think, because Jody mentioned that time is a struggle for her. So in that, you're going to have the workbook page with the time blocking. It will help you so much to figure out when is the time when I can complete 15-minute workouts 5 days a week, right? All right, Diane. Oh, by the way, hi everybody, and let me know if you're here. Say hi. Let me know that you've watched this if you're watching on the replay. I see Sharon and Allison and Maggie and Krista and Shelly. And so I'm here every Wednesday, and then I send it out via email. I put it on my YouTube channel, the replay as well, so that you can all make sure you get it in. Really great questions with really great answers and action steps, okay? So Diane says she wants to feel better about herself by dropping some pounds. She said she's not sure if it's hormones or diet, probably both. And she's asking, how can I reverse the weight gain that she's experiencing, most likely from hormones and diet, right? Possibly exercise, sleep, stress, all these things. What we can do is you can set up a call with me, Diane, so that we start getting you going, right? One of my favorite things to give new clients, or those who are not sure if they want to take big steps but want to take small steps, those who do the Menopause Makeover and those who join my 3-month Empowered Fitness Mastery program, we start almost everybody with a 5-day kickstart cleanse. And that is a 5-day meal plan that will help you lose pounds right away. On average, we see 3 to 7 pounds in 5 days. And so that's a quick win, right? It gets you really excited when you see the scale moving in the right direction, when you get all the benefits from doing the cleanse, which is going to be better sleep, less symptoms, less hot flashes, mood swings, night sweats, all those things. And you get the scale victory, and that's a really fun thing to have a win. So I think that would be a great start for you, Diane, to start reversing that weight gain, and then we got to find that solid plan that puts you in alignment, fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle, and possibly supplementation and any other recommendations that we find that we need to follow. But let's get you moving, acting, taking new action to get new results. So Diane, why don't you schedule a call with me or sign up for the Menopause Makeover? Either way, let's do one of those things, and it'll get you going in the right direction, okay? At minimal to no cost. All right, Nancy says, what's holding her back? She says, myself. I find other things to do, which I should do. I should work out before doing them. Okay, so she finds other things to do instead of working out. That's called procrastinating. And procrastinators don't get very far, right, with the things that they need to accomplish. And that's one of the reasons why I do time blocking, right? So this is one of my journals. I don't like to write a whole lot of stuff down. I will write down tasks that I need to do, maybe a couple objectives for the day, maybe like a big goal. But otherwise, I really like to use this just to time block what I need done. And what I do is I'll write my priorities. So if I'll put my tasks here, and then I'll open this up and I'll say, these are my tasks. Where on the day's planner do these all fit, right? And if I'm a procrastinator, then maybe I put the things that are the toughest to do first, right? What do? We call that swallowing the frog. Swallow that frog, eat the frog. We call it eating a frog, right? It's not fun, but we got to do it to get it done. So for me, I wake up and I work out immediately. There's no question, every morning, because otherwise my days are crazy and I would never get it done in the afternoon or evening if I waited. So I always do my workout number one. It's important for me to take care of me first, right? And so you might need to do that too, Nancy, is either time block exactly when you're gonna do it and know that that's the time you do that thing, or start with it, make it the first thing you do, and then there's nothing. Nobody's getting in my way at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. And so that's going to be super important for you. I think also accountability, right? If you've got me on the other end and I'm looking at, so I schedule my clients, I schedule their workouts in an app, and I can see when they're filling in the little bubbles, when they're doing the workouts. And if they're not, then I can question, hey, are you okay? What's going on? You know? And so you need some kind of accountability so that you're getting the work done. And sometimes we need help with that at the beginning, right? Okay, Mary wants to lose weight and be happier with herself again. I love that idea, right? We set a goal for ourselves and then we feel proud of ourselves when we see it through, when we achieve it. She says motivation and nutrition are holding her back. And so I always question motivation. because generally people are not lacking motivation. Your motivation is whether you want to stay the way you are or not. And if you are motivated, if you want change, if you don't want to stay the same, then you are motivated to change. If I said, I kind of want to lose 5 pounds, but I don't really know how life's going to change, or it's not really that important to me to lose 5 pounds, I'd rather eat all the candy and popcorn at the movies, then I'm going to choose candy and popcorn at the movies, right? If I can really tie my emotions to why it's so important that I lose these 5 pounds or whatever it is, maybe 5 pound weight loss doesn't actually really mean anything to me. So, but if you have a strong connection as to what your goal is and why you want to change, then you're not really lacking motivation. What you're lacking is a solid plan and accountability to get going on it. You need to be taking action with a solid plan. You don't need motivation. You probably have it. I don't want to keep these 5 pounds on because I don't want to feel self-conscious every time I put my jeans on and my belly's spilling over the top and I'm super embarrassed going out in public and, ashamed of the fact that I can't, control myself enough to lose these 5 pounds. You got to get deep, right? You got that. You want to change. Then you need the plan of action that makes sense and the accountability to getting it done. Okay. So Mary's question, I have questions on fitness, nutrition, weight loss, menopause, all of them. Mary, it sounds like we need a call. So we can go over all of your questions on all the things. So go ahead, Mary from Oklahoma, go ahead and schedule a call. The link is here for you and we can go over all the things. Penny, I had a call with Penny this morning and it was great. And so hopefully this evening we're signing Penny up for Empowered Fitness Mastery. She says that she just can't stay motivated. And so again, she's got great motivation, her health, her strength, her confidence. We talked about all these things this morning. Penny's got the motivation. She really just needed support and love and celebration of the good work that she's going to be doing for herself. She is already doing a lot of great work and she needs a little bit more support. So her question is, why does nothing seem to work? And so we talked about this morning. She is such a great healthy eater. She does lots of workouts. She loves her Chuck Norris Total Gym. What she needs is some change because she's been doing the same healthy diet. She loves quinoa. I told her she would love my Kickstart cleanse. So she loves healthy eating and she loves working on her Total Gym. But what we need is some work on stress and anxiety reduction, and we also need to change things up and try some new tools so that her body's just kind of like stuck in this plateau mode. So we're going to try some new things with Penny. We're going to encourage her and give her so much love and support along the way and celebrate every little thing that she accomplishes. And I guarantee it's going to bring new joy to Penny. She got very emotional when we started talking about what this could be like when she starts making change and sees new results. And she's very, very excited. So I look forward to getting to work with Penny. All right, Rosalind, I know she's on my calendar, I think for maybe tomorrow. So she says, again, motivation and a plan. So it's probably not motivation. We'll talk about what's going on with Rosalind. She's got some reason why she wants to change because she booked a call. And it's probably just the plan of action and the right tools that we got to put in her hands. And then we got to see her through and give her that support and encouragement in a way to be checking in to stay accountable and consistent in her journey. She's going to start seeing some amazing changes, and then that's going to build that momentum and motivation. Rosalind's question, let's see. Hi, Jerry. I miss you. Let's see. Rosalind's question is, why do I gain weight even when I am eating next to nothing? You answered your question, Rosalind. You're eating next to nothing. The body does not like under eating. And when I talk to all of you on these calls, about 90% of you are under eating, and that is going to result in feeling the weight gain, because what's going to happen is your body composition is going to shift, right? We're not eating enough to promote muscle and bone growth. We're not eating enough to have a healthy body, and the body's just gonna break down and it's not gonna do good things. You're gonna be in a very high stress place, right? Cortisol, when I said if you're not eating balanced, if you're not eating in alignment with your goals, if you're not eating enough, if you're eating too much, if you're eating a bunch of processed crap, all these things are gonna result in your body at this age being in a state of stress. And what happens is when we're always in a state of stress, our adrenals start to break down and everything goes haywire. And that's when you're going to see weight gain instead of weight loss. We need to rev up your metabolism, right? So that's the other part of it, is when you don't eat enough, your metabolism is going to slow down. It's going to say, wait, we don't want to break down this little tiny bit of food because we need it to survive. And so your metabolism will slow with chronic undereating. And so we need to wake up and we need to be a beast and we need to be a food eating machine, and we gotta like fuel it with all this stuff. That's why I got my protein bar in my bag here behind my chair in case I start to feel hungry. I can just like cut the video and start eating, right? And to keep my body healthy and strong and excited. And so we need to find balance and alignment for Rosalind instead of being a chronic undereater. You're just not going to get anywhere with that approach, okay? Juliet just mentioned to me that she was struggling with motivation. So again, book a call with me, Juliet. We've got Nicole. Nicole says it took a year, but she lost 75 pounds. Amazing. That's awesome. She says, I have 60 more to go. She says she's at a plateau and she doesn't know what to do. And so with that, and then what does she say? How, when in menopause, can I get past this plateau? So the question is, how do I get out of plateau? We got to do something different, right? So oftentimes what got you from point A to point B is not going to be what gets you from point B to point C. We got to up the game. We got to change the tools. We got to introduce new things. And one of the, I think like my primary example of that is my client, Lisa S. And she lives in Wisconsin and she's been with me for quite a while, maybe a year or so now. And Lisa goes through these periods where she sees amazing results and then she kind of levels off. And then we have a meeting, we say, let's change it up. And then she goes down again and then she kind of levels off. And we have another meeting and we say, okay, what are we changing now? And she just mentioned to our group this past week, she's like, I think this tool that I'm working with now, I think this is another thing that's like getting me past a plateau. And so she's always making progress because we're constantly changing up the tools that we're working with and just doing more, just better and better and different. And like, it's been so exciting to see her constantly, having this time where she starts to plateau out, but then changing things up and seeing new results. So it's very cool. So I think, Nicole, you just need to change what you're doing. We can talk about that. We can figure out what it is. Nutrition tools, adding new tools to the toolbox. Same with fitness. How can we progress and change so that the body doesn't find that place where it's not changing anymore? And could be eating more, eating less, changing it around, making your metabolism flexible, making your body crave just more growth and change. And I'm excited for you, Nicole. I don't think you're on my calendar yet, but I think you asked for the link and I think I sent it to you earlier. If not, we'll make sure you have that. Okay, let's take one more because it's already 12:30 and then we'll save these last two for next week. So we've got Kelly. And hi, Sherry. Hi, Christine. Miss you. Okay, so Kelly says she wants to lose weight and feel better about herself. She wants to go off some of the drugs that she's on. I assume that's medicinal drugs, and feel confident. And she says with menopause, it's holding her back and she can't exercise with current injuries. She's asking, how do I manage to feel better with all of these issues and help me feel more confident and comfortable? So first of all, injuries, hopefully they are not permanent. Hopefully they are just temporary. We all have times in our life where we go through injuries. I've been through many injuries in my life, And even in college, I was an economics major and a Chinese minor, and I did my senior thesis on the psychology of sports injury because I hurt myself twice. 2 seasons I was injured for my softball career, and it caused me a lot of mental anxiety. So I did my whole thesis on the psychology of sports injury, and I know how debilitating it can be. Plus, I had a massive back injury 6 months after I got married in 2008, and I had to really tap back into what I learned during my senior thesis. I know how hard it is when we become injured because it really affects, obviously, our ability to exercise and lose weight, and also just mentally, it makes us kind of retract and go within. And like I said earlier, relationships, connections are incredibly important in this life, and feeling connected to people has been shown to create longevity in the societies around the world that are have the longest living humans. They have found that connection to other people is really important. So I can see how injuries, hopefully temporary, can feel like they're a setback. I have a client who had a big fall and she's got broken ribs and all kinds of injuries. She sent me pictures of all of her bruising, and we're just trying to stay positive, work through what, this period, knowing it's temporary and working on the things we can work on. So modified exercise plan, because she doesn't want to stop, and I totally understand. Working on nutrition, really just finding a little stress relief in this time. So we have to work with what we've got, right? Sometimes, I've had broken legs and I've had broken fingers, and I've still done what I could with what I had. And so we can always do that. But yes, I agree that when we're able to put in the work, focus on what we can control, have those little wins, celebrate the little wins, then we'll start to find confidence, joy, and those little things are like little bricks, and they'll stack up. And you may not notice the changes like day by day, but over the weeks, over the months, being consistent with the right tools, you will definitely start to see the change. I think it is important to have either a coach or a community in your corner, right? So the bigger your support network, and not always the bigger, but the more supportive, the more support you have from the people that you do have in your corner, it will help you to stay positive. Maybe listening to more positive, reinforcing books or podcasts can help as well. So again, Kelly's question, given her injuries, menopause, how do I manage to feel better with all of these issues and help me feel more confident and comfortable? What I would have Kelly do right now, just knowing this tiny little information, is I would say, Kelly, join the 5-day Menopause Makeover. It's $5. What you can do, right? We're going to focus on what you can do. What you can do is the 5 mastery lessons in there on sleep, stress, nutrition, fitness, and supplementation. You can do those 5 lessons, no problem. They're 15 minutes each. You got a week to do them. You might be able, depending on your injuries, you might be able to do some or even all of the workouts in there. We have 5 15-minute workouts: arms, abs, glutes, and 2 stretch and breathing sessions. Even if you just did the breathing, if you don't have anything wrong with your upper body, do the upper body. If there's nothing wrong with your lower body, do the glutes workout. If you could do the abs, right? If you can't do them, then don't worry about those. Do the mastery lessons. And then you can always add on my 5-day Kickstart Cleanse along with the Menopause Makeover and work on your nutrition. And there you go. You can get some incredible results. Just enjoy the knowledge and growth, and then we can chat and I can pump you up and be your cheerleader, and we can come up with a plan together to get you to your goals, or to do something that is modified and focus on what you can do until you're back to 100%. So that would be my recommendation for you. So we're going to cut this today. Thank you for coming, and thank you for hanging in with me. I will see you back here next Wednesday for our next Q&A live. I'll see you Monday for a Monday Motivation Live. And you can always friend me, follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and we can chat there too. And and take some action, right? So set up a call if you haven't had one, or join the Menopause Makeover if you want to get started in a small place. And I look forward to your questions. And if you have any more questions, you're welcome to drop them below, message me or email me, and I will see you next time.